Dear learners, we are moving to the fourth lecture of Module 8, Week 8 of our marketing course, The Art and Science of Marketing from Basics to Breakthrough. So, Week 8, Module 8 is divided to formulate or formulating the pricing strategy in totality. We already covered the basics of price, what we mean by price. We covered the different factors influencing the pricing decision. We covered the pricing process, different activities which organization has performed to decide about the price. In last lecture, that was lecture 3, where we covered the different pricing techniques. Now we need to move further in lecture 4, where we will try to learn and understand the adoption or adaptation of price as per the requirement of the market. I, Dr. Asutosh Mohan, Associate Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, would like to start the session with two objectives of the session. The first objective is to understand the key approaches to price adaptation. What are the different requirements, the key mechanism to adapt the price? Differentiate the second objective to differentiate between short term and strategic pricing adaptation. So, several times we need to go for short term adaptation, several times this adaptation may turn out to be a longer duration adaptation. How the organization need to deal with, we have to understand the same thing. Let's start with a story, a real corporate story. The Pepsi regional shift in India or Pepsi regional pricing shift in India. PepsiCo dropped the beverages prices in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities of some of Indian towns to match with the local competition, which is or which was actually creating lot of problem for PepsiCo to survive at those places. So they reduced the price to enhance the affordability level while they maintain the premium pricing in urban or metro cities where they have the strong brand perception. So learning from this example, market adaptability, remember market adaptability ensures the relevance and competitiveness across segment. This is very crucial. If you are not ready to change, if you try to resist to change and not ready to change as per the requirement, will it be possible for anyone to survive? It's not possible as a human being, as an individual to survive. Then how is it possible to survive in a highly or fiercely competitive world? That is why adaptation is a necessity. Adaptation is a necessity to remain competitive at the marketplace, and that's what we need to understand in detail over next 20 to 30 minutes and try to understand the importance and accordingly whenever required try to apply the same in our own functioning. What is price adaptation? The first thing which comes in our mind. What is price adaptation? Adaptation. I am talking about adaptation. I am not talking about adoption. Adoption may be a blind copying of the things from others. I am talking about adaptation. Adaptation means a very clearly thought out process or understanding to change yourself as per the requirement while taking into consideration your own resources, your own limitation. So you cannot go for a blind copying, you are making a wise decision how to make changes as per the requirement. That is what adaptation is. So adjusting base price to reflect differences rather related with location, related with time, the channel, the product, the competition. This is what the adaptation is. And the objective of adaptation, that is very simple. It is basically to make you, to boost your competitiveness, to boost your responsiveness towards the market, and so that you remain alive. Your optimum utilization of resources remains in line with the requirement of the profit margins. That is what the adaptation objective need to be. So what are the different adaptation techniques? One requirement or one particular thing which we need to understand, several time organizations has to adapt as per the geographical considerations. So several time prices need to change as per the counter trade agreement or counter trade arrangements. What we are witnessing with the rise of Trump regime in USA, lot of negotiation, the trade negotiations are going on with different nations including India with USA. So what are counter trade regime or counter trade policies that is going to decide the price of the product? Because price also include the different possible taxes imposed by the different governments. So counter trade, one of the factor. Barters, which are again possible in certain cases where one product is bartered against another product in case of requirement, in case of scarcity. That's possible. And in that case, the pricing has little significance except to equate or to make equivalent bartering as per the value of both items. Compensation deals, buyback arrangement, these are also different kind of things, different kind of arrangement whenever there is any kind of problem, any kind of flaw, any kind of excessive inventory. So there might be a buyback kind of arrangement with the players, the buyers, vendor is, supplier is having a buyback arrangement. Whatever the excessive inventory you will have, I will return it, I will purchase it back, and accordingly the prices are decided. So all these possibilities exist in international trade where the geographical location, the country, the politics, the macro factors have influence to decide the pricing of a product. Next one is promotional pricing. Now promotional pricing is also a kind of price adaptation. Why? Because promotional pricing where you are making certain changes in the actual price of product. And why you are making changes? Just recall, we have a product life cycle. So under different stages of product life cycle, we have different pricing techniques. So as per the requirement of market, if you are changing the price to promote your product, it means you are not charging the actual price, you are adapting as per the market condition. And this is what we need to understand. There are different promotional pricing techniques. For example, one pricing technique is loss leadership pricing. Now what is loss leadership pricing? Loss leadership pricing means company or organization used to sell a product on a relatively loss proposition or maybe no loss no profit proposition. But why they are selling the same? Because they want to pull or they want to attract a traffic for their organization. This is a very popular practice for different hypermarkets. In fact, when McDonald entered into India in last century, the ambience of McDonald was such a different ambience as a fast food retailer with such a grand kind of ambience for Indian audience, the Indian customer. Lot many people had a perception that it's a costly shop to go for, a costly restaurant to go for. So what McDonald did, they offered 7 rupees McSofty. So that 7 rupees McSofty pulled the crowd inside the fast food retail giant, and when they entered into the outlet of McDonald, they simply saw on the billing counter the different other products available at a reasonable price. So Softy served as a crowd puller. They sold it at no loss, no profit proposition, but that pulled the crowd inside the McDonald's outlet, saw the menu displayed on the billing counter on different screens, and people simply develop a kind of liking for the restaurant chain. This is what loss leadership pricing is. Similarly, we may have special event pricing. If you are sponsoring an event, if you are making a stall in an event, you may offer certain kind of discounts, and those discounts are basically to pull the customer in your kitty, to make them experience at least what exactly you are offering. Cash rebates, quite natural, depends on the different kind of conditions, depends on different kind of, might be unconditional cash rebates, a kind of price discount which you are offering to pull the crowd, to recycle your maturity cycle in the product life cycle. That's possible. Low interest financing, nowadays this is a longer payment term. Nowadays these two techniques are getting quite popular. Maybe zero interest financing also, where the immediate gratification of customer requirement becomes a priority. So even if you are not ready, or if you are not having the enough resources to afford the product or service, you go for EMI, go for zero interest EMI, go for EMI even if seems the EMI is difficult to carry over a period, maybe a short period, the EMI is not feasible, then they offer a longer duration of EMI. So low interest, zero interest, longer duration EMI, that is again a point of attracting those customers who are somehow feeling the lack of resources to go for your offer. So you are adapting the price, you are actually grabbing those particular opportunity. They have intent, but they have the willingness, but they don't have the ability. So you are adding that ability to create the demand. That's what the promotional pricing is. Then there are warranty, service contract, and psychological discounting. What exactly this psychological discounting is? Take example. From our past understanding of different pricing technique, suppose with a specific calculation with one of the pricing techniques, say target return pricing, the figure comes out to be for a product, 1 unit of product is 1024 rupees. Now 1024 rupees is supposed to be charged by the organization, but organization, that's what we understood in the pricing process also, the pricing techniques can give you an indication, but final price is dependent on several other factors. So what is psychological pricing? That is also called as Bata pricing. This trend was started by Bata in India. Do you able to remember what, do you able to recall what it might be? It's in terms of 99, 199, 499, 999 or something like this. So with your calculation for 1 unit of product, it came out to be 1024 rupees. But rather to charge 1024 rupees, you offer a discount of 25 rupees and made your price of the product 999 rupees. Will it serve any purpose? Definitely. Just say 999 rupees and 1024 rupees. A different kind of perception comes into our mind. It's in 3 figures, not in 4 figures. And this 3-figure perception will increase the sales volume many-fold. So whatever the 25 rupees discount you offered by offering 999, that can be compensated by the increase in volume of your product sale. That's what psychological pricing is. That's what Bata pricing is, and that's what we need to understand the promotional pricing details. Good enough? We must be witnessing all of these particular techniques actually offered by the organization time to time? Yes or no? I hope every one of you must be witnessing, every one of us is having experience of the same. Now let's move to the another pricing technique in terms of price adaptation. That is discriminatory pricing. Seems to be an an event of discomfort, an event where you may feel cheated. Discrimination, word in itself, discrimination indicates many meaning. So how is it possible to have discriminatory pricing? How can one company may charge two different prices to two different customers? Possible? Yes, it's possible. It's very much possible. And the price discrimination may be based on several factors. Let us take one by one. Customer segment pricing. Do you have experience of this? Just go to any particular amusement park or any museum. You will find in any museum there are two kind of charges. One is for Indian nationals, the Indian citizen, the other is for foreign citizen. So foreign citizens are paying higher entry fee, Indian citizens are paying lower entry fee, segment based charges. Go to any amusement park, you will find the charges are based on the height or the age of individual. So child below 12 years of age will have a different price. Above 12 years will have different price. 4 feet height, less than 4 feet height, you have different price. Above 4 feet, you have different price. The ultimate level of this price segmentation based on price differentiation based on customer segment, which I came to know that one airline in a foreign country is charging the price based on the weight of the flyer, weight of the passenger. Just imagine the situation of those persons who are facing the obesity. Will they go to those particular flight where the charges bound to be higher because the discrimination is based on the customer or the customer segment? So it's possible and it's happening. Another discrimination is product form pricing. Product form pricing may be in terms of different variants are available for a similar product. It's a very common practice in automobile industry. They highlight in marketing communication that our car is available in 7.99 lakhs. Again a kind of psychological pricing. But if you visit to the showroom and try to find out which car suits, you will find the same car model is having 5 variants. So 7.99 lakh offered or displayed in commercial is a bare minimum model which usually consumers or customer don't prefer. So if you add on the different features in different model, and accordingly might be the top model with all the feature may cost you 10 point or 9.99 or maybe 12.99 lakh, which is significantly different from 7.99 lakh. So this is what product form pricing is. So you are adding the feature and accordingly adding the price. We have image pricing. What kind of image we are having? That is possible to have image pricing. So if you are having an image of a premium at certain part of or certain group of customer, you are charging the premium price. Maybe certain ornamental differentiations. But if you have image of not a premium, then you are charging another price. But this discrimination, this differentiation is really difficult because that will create a lot of contradiction in the mind of individual, because logic to prevail in terms of image, which is quite subjective in nature. Channel pricing, this is again very crucial, where we are finding a bottle, water bottle at airport which is having a specific channel of distribution. Water bottle at common marketplace is having a specific kind of distribution with 2 different price tag for a same brand of water. So based on the channel, based on the place, the price is changing. That is also related somehow with the image which we are having. So a customer, a passenger who is visiting to an airport is considered to pay higher charges than a customer who is a passenger at railway station or a bus stop, which is supposed to pay irregular charges. This is possible and this is happening. Similarly, the location pricing. Location pricing. This is again one of the beautiful parameter to discriminate the price. Yes or no? Did you ever watch a movie from a front seat or the first seat or first few seats, first few rows in any multiplex? Did you ever try to differentiate your experience from front row watching to the last row watching? And you must have an experience that last row considered to be the premium row with a higher price tag, and the front rows which are considered to be very generic for masses with a lower price tag. So based on the place, we are having a different price even for a same product at a same point of time. That is also possible. That is happening. Now last one, the differentiation based on time. What we are witnessing at different places. Weekend tickets or evening shows are costlier than the morning show in multiplexes. In restaurants, we may find the possibility of happy hours during daytime, which is having certain kind of deep discount which might not be possible on evening time. All these possibilities, don't you think, represent the time discrimination? At what time you are using that particular service or product? Think about the medical field. The charges in OPD and the charges in emergency are different. That dependent on the time. Now this time differentiation is beautifully captured by the different industry, by and large with the travel industry, where they have a yield-based pricing system. Yield-based pricing system is actually a dynamic pricing system. So there are possibilities. For example, when you book a ticket for an airline, now in railways its dynamic pricing is also there. When you book a ticket say 2, 3, 6 months prior to your actual time to fly, you will get a cheaper ticket. As you move closer to your time of fly, then you will find the cost or the price of ticket is getting more and more. So it means when demand was low, supply was high, price was low. When demand is increasing, supply is getting low, the price is increasing. This is what yield-based pricing, this is what time-based pricing, this is what dynamic pricing we are talking in our travel industry. Now product mix pricing. What we mean by product mix pricing? There are different possibilities, the different propositions related with product mix pricing. We may have product line pricing. We may have optional feature pricing, captive product pricing, two-part pricing, by-product pricing, product bundling pricing. What does it represent? Lot of option we have. Product line pricing. Product line pricing, we understood the product mix in our different past week. I think it was the part of our week 7 when we discussed product in detail. Now in product line, if you have a similar kind of product in your product line, don't you think the prices need to align with one another? That is what product line pricing. In a same product line, you cannot offer one product at a very superior price and one in very inferior price. And suppose if brand is same or product line extension or brand extension possibility you evaluated, then it's not possible. That's what you need to take into consideration, the product line offerings in your product mix. That's a basic consideration. Then we have optional feature pricing. If you add on the option, that's what we discussed. If you add on the options in your product, the price will add up. Automobiles, many electronic items, many gadgets, many tech related items are having these kind of possibility where you add on the options and price is increasing accordingly. Then we are having captive product pricing. Now what is captive product pricing? Every one of us must be using the mosquito repellents. We must be using the printers. Now what, just try to find out mosquito repellent machine and its liquid which you are supposed to fill at certain time durations. The cost of machine is very less, but the cost of liquid which you need to refill is relatively high. Now suppose you purchase one particular machine as a mosquito repellent, then you bound to purchase the refill of the same machine again and again, and you are bound to pay the higher prices. But in case of this example, the cost of base product is low, that is why people are not bothering, and somehow the standardizations are there where the different brands may fix into different machine. Take the example, how many of us are actually refilling our pen? Nowadays this habit also changed dramatically. Every time when our refill is over, many of us used to throw the pen and go for a new pen. Why? Because pen might cost you 10 rupees, refill might cost you 8 rupees to 6 rupees. Why to go for the refill, just purchase a new pen. But just think, if a product is a costlier one, take the example of printer. Now printer is costing you say 15,000 or 20,000 rupees, a good printer, maybe an all-in-one printer. Now if you have that much of investment and if you need to refill the cartridge only by the company cartridge, and now you become a captive customer for that company, the company may charge you every time maybe some thousand of rupees to refill your cartridge, and you are bound to pay for that. So if you are going for 20,000 rupees printer, and you supposed to refill, heavy user, you supposed to refill every 2 months or every month the cartridge of 2,000 rupees. So within 10 months you generate a revenue of more than the printer cost altogether. That is what captive pricing is. Now two-part pricing. Two-part pricing. Two-part pricing is a pricing technique where certain components are fixed and certain components are variable. How many of us pay the electricity bill? Just recall your experience. And even if you pay the electricity bill, just have a look on your electricity bill. I don't know how many of us actually have a detailed look of the electricity bill. You will find there is a fixed charge as per your load capacity. So that fixed charge, whether you are using the electricity or not, you have to pay every month. And whatever the electricity units you are using, that is a variable charge. This is what two-part pricing is. And this is again, you need to understand under the product mix pricing, which is a kind of adaptation. So if you are not using, suppose your house is locked for a month, you are traveling somewhere, but still you have to pay the fixed charge, fixed charge. You are not using the electricity, so might be variable charge is 0, but you have to pay that. This is what price adaptation techniques in terms of product mix decisions we need to understand for. Next one is byproduct pricing. Several times the byproduct. One product requires the support of other product. So if you are having one major product and if you don't have the other major product which is necessity to run the main product, what will be the use? So byproducts are also decided in that particular respect. And the last one is product bundling price. Several times you find the several items are bundled into one, and then the price of that bundled offer is less than the individual prices of each and every item. Now gold prices are increasing, reaching to the highest level. Yes. So many jewelers are making in this marriage season, they keep on floating the different option. We have a marriage package where all essential jewelries within this price range, which is affordable in terms of necessity to go, in terms of having those offers. If you purchase individually you might not get, but we bundled as one offer, and accordingly you get the advantage in terms of discounts on making charges, in terms of lightweight jewelry manufacturing. That's also possible. This is happening, and this is part of price adaptation. When will organization initiate the price cut? That again very crucial question. Whenever you drive to dominate the market through lower cost, you initiate the price cut. Whenever you enter into a low quality trap where people are perceiving lower the price, lower the quality, you keep on giving more and more lower prices until unless you reach to the bottom of your price possibility, the base of your price, the floor of your price. Fragile market share trap. This is again your market share is fluctuating up and down, up and down. So whenever you are offered certain price cut, it's increasing. Whenever you are try to maintain the original price, it's decreasing. Then you are again forced to go for price cut and make the revival of your fortune. So this is what fragile market trap. Last one is shallow pocket trap. When you identify there are problem with your identified target segment in terms of affordability of your product, then you have to have offer certain discounts to go for the product. Otherwise, your product might not be sellable at target market. The reverse is also true. That is again part of adaptation. If you are able to cut it, no doubt, you as an organization, you as a marketer have full right to increase it also. So when will you increase? There are certain situations when it becomes a necessity. For example, if cost inflations are there for raw material, what will you do? You cannot bear all the inflation. You have to have passed certain amount to the market, to the customer by increasing the price. When you have anticipatory pricing, when you understand this price may have this kind of consequence where we can charge more and more prices or higher prices, we go for this kind of price increase. We may have over demand situation. So if you increase the price, somehow you are countering that over demand and you are trying to create an impression of a premium offer, and you are trying to create a situation where this over demand need to be met and not to convert into your competitor's product, but that need to be wisely adapted, wisely coined. Delayed quotation pricing, that is the time lag which create a possibility of increase in price. Escalator clauses, that is part and parcel of the tendering and bidding. Then unbundling, if you are unbundle the process, unbundle the components of your one offer, then obviously price will be high. So bundled items may have less price and unbundled individual items may have a higher price. That's quite natural. Reduction of discount, because discount if you keep on offering on a regular basis, then people will perceive this is your actual price. So if you just try to identify many apparel manufacturers who used to offer discount throughout the year, people feel this is the actual price of the product, they superficially inflate the price and offer us 50% discount. So if you are offering discount, remember it need to be for shorter duration. If it is for longer duration, then you develop a habit of the customer to seek the same discount every time. So you are not getting any benefit. So those organizations who offered the discount continuously, take the example, Coutons, one of the apparel brand, kept on offering 50% discount, add on 50 plus 10, 50 plus 20, 50 plus 30 throughout the year. They are not existing, not possible, because everyone understood the prices they are quoting or they were quoting superficial, not actual. So discount need to be for shorter duration. What will be the possible responses to the higher cost or overhead without raising price? That's again very crucial. Several times you find the cost pressure is there. The cost is actually forcing you to increase the price, but somehow the market conditions are not suitable, you are not able to increase the price, then what will you do? Then what will you do? That's a big question. That's a very crucial question. How will you cope up? Because cost is increasing, inflation pressure is there, inflationary pressures is there, but market conditions are not soothing as per the requirement to increase the price. There are several mechanisms. For example, you can shrink the amount of product. Instead of offering 100 gram soap, you may offer 90 gram, 85 gram. People will not notice it, and accordingly you can sell out. That's possible. Substitute less expensive material or ingredient, but remember, it need not to compromise with the quality. If you are compromising with quality, then it may backfire to you. Reduce or remove some of the product features, possible if you are facing that situation. Product service, removing the product service, this is practically or theoretically possible, but practically if you try to reduce, it may have its own consequences. But if you reduce without getting into a proper notice, for example, you earlier offered 3 free services, maybe free installation of a product in your house, but now you started charging the installation charge and reduce the free services from 3 to 2. That's possible to cope up with the changes required to cope up without increasing the price of the product. Using less expensive packaging material and reducing the number of sizes and model offer. These are some of the techniques through which you can work with, but remember, I just want to give you a word of caution. Whatever the changes you want to make in ingredient, whatever the changes you want to make with the packaging material or the services, try to be in that category where it need not to hamper the quality of product, because it will dilute the perception, and if possible make the changes, adapt so that you are not going to be noticed in general by the customer until unless customer is evaluating in a great detail. Now, how to respond to the competitor price change? That is again very crucial proposition to understand. What can you do if competitor is increasing or competitor is making certain attempts to beat you? You have to have respond to that particular say. You have to have respond to that particular requirement. What can you do? You may have 3 options. You can maintain the price, you can reduce the price, or you can increase the price. 3 possible theoretical option you have. Either maintain the price or reduce the price or increase the price. Now you may ask to me, competitor is trying to beat me, must be competitor is offering certain price discount and you are talking to increase the price. How is it possible? Just see the different possibility. If you are going to maintain the price, have faith in your product and offering, and you think your product is good enough to go for, you maintain the price. If you find the maintaining price and adding value is somehow not, maintaining price without adding value is not possible, then you try to add value in that. That is what maintaining price with adding value. if you are not able to cope up with the price cuts by the competitor, then bound to follow the same and you will also go for the price cuts. If you want to increase the price, just opposite, the competitors are lowering, might to beat you, and you want to increase. How can you increase? You add certain more value, create more bigger difference to increase the price and show you are the best at the marketplace. Launch a lower price version, that's also possible. Neither you are increasing nor you are reducing, even you are not maintaining the price, but you are fighting the competitor with a lower version product, and you try to create a separate identity for that product. That's also possible. Seems to be very beautiful, but very difficult, and it requires lot of effort to get success. How to move in tandem with the market requirement and competitor reaction. That is the beauty of price adaptation. So, in summary, what we learn? We learn price adaptation is essential and relevant for different customer groups. Definitely. It must balance flexibility with brand value and consistency. That's what we need to understand. And data and tech play a key role in enabling adaptive pricing. That is what you need to understand the market movement through data. You need to calculate, you need to understand, take help of technology as the backbone, and then decide what kind of adaptations, what kind of changes can make a smooth selling at the marketplace while handling the diverse pressure present at the market. This is an art based on the scientific understanding of tools and technique. So, as per the tradition, I am giving you a post-session assignment. Just think and answer. Should a company charge different prices for the same product in different cities? You must be witnessing the same. Just try to find out what is or what was the actual differential parameter for the same, with the understanding which we developed in our lecture today itself. So, if you have further interest, read the article of HBR, Pricing to Match Your Customer Value Perception, to understand how price need to match with the value. So, thanks for your time and energy. Last session of module 8, we will try to discuss some real life examples and its application, whatever we learn under the pricing technique, the application orientation of the same. Thanks.